Welcome back to my channel, you guys. So for today's video, I wanted to do a wrapped version of last year's no buy and go over how that looks. So let's start here. So I did some calculating, so I'll be looking down every once in a while at my notes. So last year, this is all of our spending total for 2024. That was bills, everything. That was $71,215. This year, it went down to $63,559. So we ended up saving $7,656 doing this no buy. So nothing to sneeze at for sure. And the areas that I noticed it the most would be one with bills, surprisingly enough. We saved $3,241 in bills being utilities and other things. But like I said, I had tried this year to not use the heat as much and try to open the windows more, do things like that. So I was actually surprised that made quite a bit of difference. I wouldn't say the full 3,000, but it could have been just less waste in general, overall for all the bills. And then shopping was another big category. We had gone down by $1,748. We still spent money, but it had just gone down. So I'll take it as a win there. And then Christmas was a huge category because the year prior, we had both needed new phones because our phones were on the way out. We bought them at the same time. So that was a huge savings this year because this year we were really trying to be conservative with Christmas. And this year we only spent $744 on Christmas, which was a savings of $2,574. So really huge savings, pretty much just the phones primarily. The other thing that went down too was the pets expense. Unfortunately, our cat passed away at the beginning of the year, so we didn't have a bunch of expenses for pets any longer now that we have no pets now. So that was a difference of $1,119, just not having pets anymore. Pet food, etc. So those are the biggest areas that we ended up saving money. And then some areas did go up, one of which being groceries, because we were trying not to eat out as much. We were trying to cook at home more. So, and also grocery prices, as you know, have gone up. So unfortunately that area went up. And then we also had to have some spending in the year because we're going back to the fertility clinic to try to get pregnant again. So we had spent $5,226 on trying to conceive again. So, we haven't been successful. We're still working on it. So that was just expenses overall for the year trying to do that. So that was our biggest expense that we were trying to also help save for. And despite that, we were still able to gain $7,000. So I feel pretty proud of that. Some areas, also gas had gone up. I'm thinking because we were doing some like road trip traveling and also gas prices have gone up. So, despite our best efforts, that went up, and that was actually quite a bit up. It was $1,020 up. So just the cost of gas, just in general, gas. And then subscriptions had also gone up. I think I had said in the previous video that I had a bunch of subscriptions that were really cheap, but the problem is they eventually went full price. And I had some stuff that I had to make some modifications on. So this year I'm hoping that will be a lot less expensive for us just because of the fact that I cut out Peacock, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO Max. I cut out like almost everything that we have. I think right now we're just basically on Netflix and Paramount. So, and then I have a VPN so that I can watch wrestling and stuff. And that was a big thing that was kind of annoying because with wrestling, they wanted you to buy ESPN and all these other things. They came out with that toward the end of the year. So I ended up having to get a VPN and then cancel a bunch of stuff to try to compensate for that. So anyway, that's why I have a VPN. And the VPN's not cheap, but it was like $58 for like a year and a half, which I'm happy to do because overall I'm going to be saving so much more by getting rid of the other subscriptions I had to have to watch wrestling. So, anyway, it's going to be a much better year coming up on the subscription front because I've cut out so much stuff. One thing I wanted to focus on, I was going through what we had done on, the previous video. And one of the things I really wanted to do was find a ton of free activities. And I'll show you here. We found so many free things to do in the community, between going Easter egg hunts for free, going to trunk or treats for free during Halloween. We did Lunar New Year events. I was just keeping my eyes peeled at all times. Facebook was actually really helpful for that, because people would post like, oh, I'm really interested in this event, and did they have discounted tickets? Was there a way to get in there for cheaper or no money? So that, and we went to like Bonneville, and you don't have to pay anything to go there. It's like a little aquarium. We had a great time. So I just found as many cheap, free activities as humanly possible. So that's what I focused on. And so I used our library, and I feel like the thing is, I would like to utilize it way more than I am. And this year I've already started doing that. I did not realize that they had such a good movie game. And they also have a library of things. So that's just recent to my library, and I'm starting that here. So we had gone out to the park to just have a walk and go, just do exercise and walk around with our kid. And we realized that people were playing disc golf. And I was like, oh, I've never played that. People are having fun with it. So I didn't want to pay for anything to do it, because I'm like, what if I don't like it? I don't want to do that. So I found that the library has a disc golf set you can just rent. So what we're doing is just renting the set. We're going to test it out, see how it goes. And then they also had pickleball as well. So I'm like, well, we could test these little things out, and then if we like them, either, it depends on how much we're doing them. Is it worth purchasing it, or is it okay to just rent it when we're going to do it? So it's just, that way, just utilizing the resources that we have available at the library. And then I didn't realize that they had such a good movie selection either. I thought, when I think of the library, I think of like older movies, like, oh, they just have old movies, or, something like that. That's what my thinking was. Completely wrong. Blindsided by the amount of good movies that they had. So you can request new movies that are about to come out, and then they order them and you can get them. And I didn't know that. So it's actually helped quite a bit, because when I got rid of the Disney Plus subscription, my thought was like, oh, every year during Christmas we watch these certain movies, and it's like, do I buy these certain movies so we always have them? How do I get them now? Because I don't want to pay for the subscription again. But all I need to do is just go to the library and just rent it ahead of time, like Home Alone, things like that, that you watch during Christmas. So that's my plan this year. Not have a Disney subscription plus, or Disney Plus subscription, and just go strictly and rent these movies when I want them. And then a couple of movies. So I just rented Snow White, because I didn't finish that one, and then Dear Friday, because that had come out recently, and I was like, oh, I didn't get to see that when it was on Disney Plus, because it hadn't come out yet, and I got rid of the subscription. So I'm really trying to utilize that, because I'm like, why would I need to pay for that subscription when we just watch movies here and there? We're not watching them constantly. It's not like we're always watching that app to make it worth it. So very excited about that, and how much money we can save doing that. And then utilizing our parks and utilizing our outside area of our house. This year, I just basically had him outside majority of the time during the summer. I'm like, just go outside, just do stuff, whatever you want to do it. So he was in the backyard at least more than half the day out, during the summer. So we were trying to use that as much as possible. And then I would go out there while I'm watching him. I would read my book. It was just and we'd lay in the hammock together. It was a great time, all of which free. And reading my library books. So we had a great time doing that. And then we also were staying in, cooking at home more. So I have some clips here of like things that we made and how well that went. And then, it went really well. As far as eating out, I noticed that did go up on us too, which I was kind of surprised about, because I feel like we weren't eating out a ton, but I think also just the cost of things has gone up, unfortunately. So I think anytime you do go out, it's going to cost more to do it. So I think that was some of the variable too. And then let me see here. Oh, DIY beauty. I did my own nails. My hair needs another cut, but I would cut my own hair. We cut Ronan's hair. George would cut his own hair. We just did everything humanly possible at home. So we were very good in that department. And then as far as heating goes, We did utilize our heating less. I did whip out my heated blanket when it was cold. It's also helped this year was not as cold as it's been in other years. So I feel like we didn't really need to have the heat on all day. It was, just turn it on for a certain period of time when it got particularly cold in the house. So I feel like that helped quite a bit. And then as far as activities go, another thing that's helped us this year is putting Ronan in preschool. So he has a speech delay. We were able to qualify for getting him into free preschool. So that's been wonderful for him because he gets some playing with other kids, which is another thing I was concerned about last year, about making sure he had enough interactions with other children. So he has 2.5 hours almost every weekday to do that. So that's been wonderful. Also gives my husband a break during the day. He can, do some things he wants to get done or just relax. So we did try the dance class that I recommended last time through the library, and I wish it went better. My kid's kind of a hooligan, so it didn't go super well. And right now the class goes on when he's at school, basically. So it's not really that helpful in that regard. But I am still interested in other events the library puts on because they do certain things during the summer. So I'm just trying to keep my eyes open for anything that they have going on. As far as utilizing my clothes, I found a pair of boots that I had that I haven't worn in a really long time. It was like UGG type boots or something. And this winter I was like, man, those would feel really nice because it's cold outside, and they just slip on and off, and that's just so convenient. So I washed them and I did a repair on them because I found them in the garage. And then I've been wearing them the whole entire winter. So I'm just really getting my money's worth on them. And the fact that I found them was really cool. So, yes, using all my clothes, making sure I'm rotating my styles. When we have casual Friday, I'm like, okay, what can I wear that I haven't worn in a while? Let me just try to get use out of what I have. I have purchased no new clothes this year, so I'm very impressed with that. And, and I had mentioned too, as far as going and doing friend activities, most of the friend activities I've done are things that I was going to do either anyway, and I just invited people to go with me, or we did game nights and other things. So it's been really good in that regard. So I think overall it's been a highly successful no-buy year, and I hope to continue into the next year. I do have to go back to the fertility doctor. Right now I'm taking a break from it because I wanted to save some money and things like that. So I'm taking a break from it at the moment. I'm working on my health. So I've so far lost 41 pounds, and I'm trying to work on getting a little thinner and see if that helps with getting pregnant. So that's my main focus at the moment, is working on that as well as saving money. So trying to implement the things. So far it's been working. So I did have to pick up a subscription. I'm doing Weight Watchers, so I have to pick up a subscription for that, which is $10 a month. But I think in the overall scheme of things, as getting healthier, things like that, major improvement in my life versus just having more subscriptions to TV stuff. So what did I learn this year? I feel like this year was really telling. The other thing I realized too is how many things you can get for discounted or free if you're just looking for them. So, or finding activities that are free. I think that was the biggest thing, because I would just keep my eyes peeled and I'm like, oh, the zoo has a discounted day. It's only half off this day, and we normally wouldn't go because it's expensive. Okay, let's go because it's half off this day. So we did that. There was a theme park we went to for half off. So we were able to do a lot more stuff, just keeping our eyes peeled for the days that they put these things on sale. So, oh, hi, baby. So we had a really good year, I feel like, considering we were saving so much money. We still had a great year. We had tons of vacations, and we just did really low cost vacations. So I think I would love to continue that path forward, because my main goal is to have more money for traveling and just having fun versus spending it on stuff that's not that important. Do you want your jammies on? These are warm. You don't want those on right now. Anyway, so that's how the year went. I hope everybody else's no-buy year went well as well. And let me know what you're planning to do in the new year. Hello? Are you showing your tongue in your popsicle? Yeah? Did your year go pretty well?
Yeah.
It did? Okay. Whoa. All right, a special cameo from Ronan today. All right, so I hope you guys had a great year, and we'll continue into the next year. All right, love you guys. Bye.